All right, motherfuckers, this is Master Marks, and I'm coming back with another motherfucking good damn video. Today's video is simply titled Charisma over Cartwheels. That's what it's about. It's about charisma. Charisma is way more important than cartwheels, than tope suicitos, then hurricane ranas, then doing the 619, then doing a 990 splash. Charisma is always going to outweigh cartwheels. And it's fine. If you can do flips and dips and hops and skips, that's fine. But if you lack charisma, it's not going to be the same for you. Shit's going to be difficult. Jungle Boy can do flips, skips, and hops and dips, but he has zero charisma. Austin Theory don't really do a lot of flips anymore. He used to back in his Evolve days, but not really a lot. But he has charisma. You see, even WWE, when I was watching Monday night, or what was it, SmackDown? When I was watching SmackDown last week, I didn't watch Raw this week. I didn't have time. They were talking about how Austin Theory has charisma. His mic skills. Because charisma will always outweigh cartwheels. Do you think Seth Rollins got to where he is in the WWE because he can do a flip or he can do a cartwheel? No. Or because he can do a moonsault off of a fat dude's belly? No. He got there because he used his charisma. You think when Chris Jericho first came into business and he transitioned to the WWF, do you think that he got where he got in the business because he can do a moonsault or a hurricane rana or a lion saut or any of those flippy moves? Do you think he got there because he can do that? No. Charisma. Because the fans relate to what comes out of your mouth, how you present yourself as a fucking wrestler. If you're just like a guy like Dean Ambrose or Dean Moxley or Moxley Dean Bros, and you have zero charisma and you just come out and swing your arms like a fucking snake and you just bleed all over the place like a fucking poked pig, it's not the same. Every time Dean Ambrose or Dean Mox Bros has been champion, it has gone absolutely fucking nowhere because the guy has no charisma. Why do you think now Dom is having a successful tenure with WWE at his age versus Hook's tenure with AEW? That's because, well, Dom got lessons on charisma. Dom learned how to talk on the mic. Hook, I still don't think Hook talk on the mic. Who wants to see a wrestling character that don't even use words? People don't get into The Rock because The Rock's wrestling moves. They get into The Rock because of his charisma. People don't get into Stone Cold Steve Austin because of his wrestling moves. They get into Stone Cold because of his fucking charisma. That is the reason why these guys become popular in the wrestling business. Not because of flips and dips and hops and skips. It is solely off of charisma. That is what gets someone success. That's what got The Rock success, Stone Cold some success. Like, when we take a look at the wrestling, Triple H some success. When we take HBK some success, I'm getting getting distracted by saying this, but when we take a look at the wrestlers of the 90s, these guys weren't doing anything that was fancy. The guys who were doing the fancy flips and the dips and the hops and the skips, those guys were light heavyweight champions. Those guys were guys like X-Pac, guys like Crash Holly. Those guys weren't heavyweight main event champions. And that is where a lot of the shit, like niggas like Funaki and shit, that is where a lot of the shit has changed in the wrestling business. Because in the 90s, it was about being charismatic. It was about talking on the mic. It was about having mic skills. Stone Cold Steve Austin pick up the mic, he don't miss. Now you got guys, and this is no offense to this person, but you got guys like Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman could be a heavyweight champion right now in the business. He really didn't talk on the mic that much. He really didn't show a lot of charisma, even though Steve Blackman had more charisma than Dean Ambrose does. But he really didn't show a lot. He just did a lot of kicks and Karate Kid shit and all of these things. Steve Blackman didn't really show a lot of charisma. But in the business now, because charisma, I guess, doesn't matter, it's cartwheels over charisma, even though that's fucking asinine. Because how are you going to become invested in a wrestler who cannot talk on the mic? Their delivery on the mic is not deliverance, sorry. Their delivery on the mic is what gets you invested into the character. Character, charisma, not cartwheels. Now, if it's a luchador, sure. Cruiserweight luchador. At a point in time, they needed somebody like Rey Mysterio to hold the heavyweight championship or hold the WWE title for a couple hours. They needed guys like that because Rey Mysterio is the best luchador that has ever been around, to be honest. But even Rey Mysterio, a person who can't talk on the mic that great, has more charisma than 85% of the wrestlers in the business right now. There are only a few guys who really have raw charisma. Everybody else is really just cartwheels. You look at a guy like Baron Corbin. A lot of people don't like Baron Corbin, but at a point in time, Baron Corbin was the best heel in the WWE. And what does Baron Corbin have? Charisma. What can he do? Talk on the mic. Does he do cartwheels? No. Jinder Mahal can talk on the mic. Does he do cartwheels? No. Because he don't need it. That's just like those people who were saying that the Miz can't wrestle in the ring and he's limited. Do y'all not realize that the Miz is charismatic? And the reason why people like the Miz is not because he can do flips, dips, hops, and skips. It's because he's charismatic and can talk on the fucking mic. Because it's always going to be charisma over cartwheels. You could do the acrobatics. You can do the hop, skips, and jumps. But that's not going to get you in the main event. And if you look at a person that's in NXT like Tiffany Stratton, she can do the acrobatics. She can do the moonsaults and the hops and the flips and the backwards kicks and all of these things. But she herself knows that she needs to work on her charisma, her mic skills. And that's why she is staying in NXT. She's got the look. She's got the style. She's got the outer presence. But she still can't cut good promos. Even she knows that. And that's simply because in the business of wrestling, because this is not a gymnast award or gymnast championships. We're not just looking for motherfuckers who can flip up and down. In the business of wrestling, charisma is always going to outweigh cartwheels. Yeah, you could do a sweet chin music with some firecrackers on your fucking feet, but if you can't cut a promo that makes people invested into why you are beefed out with these groups and why your team doesn't like this team and what makes this team better than that team, if you can't get the fans invested, you're basically wasting fucking time. At the end of the day, it don't matter how many flips, dips, hops, or skips you do, it will always be charisma over cartwheels. This has been Master Marks. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment. Tell us if you hate us. Tell us if you love us. Shout out to the AEW pack smokers and the motherfuckers in the live chat. I forgot to say that at the beginning of the video. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for watching and watching. God, Jesus Christ. Boy, I tell y'all motherfuckers, man, sometimes my words... Hey, listen, this is a raw fucking YouTube, and I say whatever the fuck I want, but sometimes I do be saying some ignorant ass shit. Watching? That's... Okay. Thank y'all for listening. This has been Master Marks. Fuck cartwheels. Fuck motherfuckers who don't know how to talk on the mic. Fuck Moxley Ambrose, Dean Bros, whatever the fuck he is, the Bleeding King. Shout out to the AEW pack smokers and the motherfuckers in the chat and in the motherfucking live chat. I'm out this bitch.
I know times it's getting harder. Mama, I'm gon' shine, I'ma do it for ya. Diamonds and them pearls, I'ma put them on ya. House in the hills, I'ma do it for ya.